All right, we're on hole number 9 of the Monster Marsh tournament. We're in Tuesday's qualifying round of the rookie division. Let's go to hole number 9. Hole number 9. All right, I'm trying to lay up out into this spot right here. Trying to get out. If you draw a line where that bush is at, you draw that line to the cup. I'm trying to be somewhere if you, in this area right here, that little square, because what that's going to do is that's going to give me a straight in shot to the green where I don't have to use any side spin. It's just a straight in shot with a little bit of backspin to dial it to the hole, and you need to hit perfect to get up to the cup. So I'm trying to land in that square. If you get out here beyond that square, then you're coming in at like this, so in order to bring it around, you'd have to put on some side spin, or you'd have to have a backspin club so that you could come up here. There's also a rough bump that you could do to try and get up to the hole. But if we're trying to go a straight in shot, and this is a great shot for a sniper because it has excellent ball guide. So my goal is to lay up out in that area. I've actually kind of overshot it the last few times I've been here. I'm going to take an extra mile because we need the distance. I'm going to take a sniper. I'm going to take a Titan. This would be a great hole for in the weekend round. This would be a great hole for a kingmaker because it will cut. You're not using the side spin, but it will cut that wind down on that second shot. And we're using the wind a little bit on the drive, so if you bring out a kingmaker, it will cut that wind down a little. I'm going to take the wind out because I don't need to get out there as far. So I want to be closer to that rough out here. I was right in the middle, but I'm going to put on a little bit of curl to bring myself back to the fairway. So I'm going to take some of that wind out. And then I'm going to put a little teeny bit of curl on it just to bring it back into the fairway. Hitting it perfect. And that's right where I want to be. You can see where the bush is right here. You can see where that fairway comes out. So I don't want to go past that fairway. I want to be right here in this zone. I was shooting this a one-on-one the other day, and I didn't have, the only bag I had in that I had a sniper in was my rock bag, and with just a little bit of overpower I was able to get nicely out into that same area. So you can take it but this is definitely one of those holes where, because of the distance to get over this trap, the best club in your bag is going to be your extra mile because you don't have to put on any overpower. And so the shot can be very consistent. It really boils down to hitting perfect, but I moved myself to the left there, even though I was closer to that rough, and you're trying to stay away from that rough. The way I avoided that rough was by putting on that curl. So curl's not represented in your ball guide. So while it looked like I was going more towards that sand, I actually gave myself plenty of room. So I got plenty of room here. I'm right at minimum club, which is about 3 per ring. Very little side spin. So 1.3 per ring. There's 2.6. That leaves me 4. So we're about a ring and a quarter. A ring and a third. Or excuse me, 2 1/3 rings. I did the math right in my head. I just couldn't get my mouth to work. Hitting it perfect. I think that might be the first perfect shot I've hit all week. Coming in here, just a bit outside. That was a little teeny bit of an overpull. So maybe 1.4 per ring. Make a note here, 1.4. Distance was good. I like that shot setup there. I think the deal is that you have to make the holes that you have. If you think of par threes as an example, the par threes where you can get on that hole, and the only thing you really have to adjust is a little bit of backspin or a little bit of topspin, and it's a straight in shot. You make a wind adjustment, and you hit perfect. and you're slightly off, you can look at the wind adjustment that you made and see if there was a micro adjustment you needed to make on that wind, and you can really dial that in because there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of variables. And so by being in that spot that I'm in out there, there's not a lot of variables on that shot. It's pretty much just a little bit of backspin just to get yourself to go right at the hole. So really the only variable is the wind adjustment. So you can just work on that one thing and start to dial it in. If you're hitting perfect shots, then you can really start to dial that shot in. But when you've got backspin and side spin and curl and you've got all this other stuff that's in there, then the shot becomes a lot more difficult, because you may get one of those variables dialed in absolutely perfect, but you've got 3 other variables that you still got to work on. Whereas on that shot, in that setup, there's only one variable to work on, and it's pretty much the wind. Nice shot. Nice shot. Saved his round right there. Or she saved her round right there. Let's check out TP. They're not in a clan. Tournament player. Lots of tourneys. Let's invite them to the clan. They're a tournament player. We're looking for tournament players in our clan. We want to have 50 members and 50 people playing tournaments. Alright, that was hole number 9 of the Monster Marsh tournament in Tuesday's qualifying round of the Ricky division. So just playing a nice clean round. I picked up all the par 4s. So I got an eagle on all the par 4s and played the rest of the round nice and clean. Gave myself looks on all the par 5s and starting to dial in the par 3. So I'm right on track for where I like to be at the beginning of the week. Working on the par 4s to get those par 4s dialed in, so I can really work on that, and I'm really liking where the week is starting. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody's having a great qualifying round, and I will catch you on the opening round.